to the podcast, episode 177, and we are back in the building. It's your boy, International Walt.
It's your girl, Tosh, the co-hostess with the mostest.
And we back for another episode of us. You guys know you can catch us out there on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, Player FM. Let's, get right to the show. How are you?
I'm good. Considering all things, none of the things are bad, but I'm good. Mentally, I'm a 9.
Right.
I feel good. I'm like, I just needed that deep breath for a minute. I feel like I've been on like high alert. My babies is here, and my babies is here. I am not used to being a full-time kid watcher. I don't even want to say watcher, because it's not like I'm babysitting. They're my babies. But I ain't used to full-time. And, I'm a 9. But we got a babysitter tonight. So we're going to have some adult time. So we're going to hurry up and make this real fast. Financially a 9, thank God for all his blessings. And I ask that he continue to allow us to be a blessing. It was just a blessing being able to bring our babies here. And I'm just grateful that, we have the means to do so and that, feed them. Because, Lord have mercy, like, my sister got 5 kids. I only have 3 of them. I mean, and I say 5 kids, 5 children. One is an adult, but she still feeds him too. We only have 3 of them for this week. I don't know what is if we had 3 kids, what's the right amount of money to spend on groceries for a week? I still don't know.
No, I would totally regulate that.
I'm just saying, I don't know what the amount is.
I would know what the amount is, but I would regulate that because I wouldn't be buying dessert every night. I wouldn't be buying snacks just randomly. Like the kids would be on a regimen. Like this is what you eat, and you can have snack, but these are the snacks.
But dessert has been what, $10? You bought 2 things of ice cream and a thing of cookies.
No, I'm not saying money. I'm just
that's what I'm talking about. Like how much money it costs.
Okay, that ice cream's fucking $5 a piece.
That's why I said you bought them 2 ice creams and a thing of cookies. So let's say $15. Their other snacks have been like little small they've been eating very regimented meals. Like they've had breakfast, then they had like applesauce or fruit. They love fruit. So it's not like they want cakes and cookies but they just, you got to feed kids. And it made me think when you talk to a nutritionist and they say as adults, we're supposed to eat 6 small meals a day. It's this is what you do for kids. They eat a breakfast, then a small snack, like fruit. They eat a lunch and then a small snack, like an applesauce. Then they eat dinner. And I don't think you have to have dessert, but even then, that's 5 things. So you think as an adult, if we ate like that, as a nutritionist says that's a healthy way of eating 6 small things a day. It's just, I'm just talking about financially.
Sure
I don't know how much it costs. And again, we not feeding them they eat a bag of chips a day. I regulate that. They get 1 bag of chips. Their other snack is like a banana or applesauce or grapes or strawberries. But it's it costs a lot to feed a family. Thank God that my sister has the ability to do so. Thank God my sister Toya, her kids are grown now, but she has had the ability to do so. Our brother and sister, our other brother and sister has 4 kids. So we know people that have multiple kids. I'm just saying it's expensive, and that isn't an expense that we've had to incur. And now it's oh wow,
I'm not disagreeing. I agree with you. I'm just be reasons why I feel the way I be feeling about little people.
So financially, but we're 9, thank God, we ain't hurting to feed them.
No.
We just realized how much it costs. Work is a 10. Work is great. All good things. Busy, not even busy schedule. I got work to do, but I'm regulating and I'm able to have more control over it and, managing that so that I'm not, doing too much, but it's great. And physically, I'm gonna say I'm a 10. I feel good. One thing about the kids being here, and I know I'm not saying this is easy for all parents, because I know for me this is a week of my life, but having the kids around me, I did not want that to get in the way of me working out. So like taking them to the park with me, walking, taking them to the track, even though they don't want to do nothing, it's like, okay, we're going to go together and do this thing. And I'm happy that that hasn't been difficult or got in my way. And it made me think like, okay, like, some parents, if you have the ability to do so, you can kind of use the kids as a reason to exercise. If they want to run and play, hey, let's go to this park or whatever together and make a thing out of it. So I'm happy that I have been able to still, haven't been able to go to the gym with my baby, but I've still been able to get some good walks in. So there I go. I'm a 99910. How are you?
1 second. I know it's wrong.
Okay, I got
talking right
there.
Yeah. I'm good. Mentally, I'm a solid 8. I'm a solid 8. But there's room for improvement.
Any reason, anything you like to share, or just?
No, just the anxiety and the uncomfortableness. Just the kids being in the house. Like you said, we're not used to watching kids or being responsible for somebody else's kids, and that. I'm a parent, and my daughter was young at one time, and she's 26 years old now, but at one time she was 2, and it's like that, that worrying kicks right in, like, as if, like, are you okay? Like one of them got sick, and it's like, that shit just, like, raises your antennas, like, Jesus Christ, like, you're responsible for somebody else's kid, they sick, you got to take care of them, and, like, all this shit runs through your mind, and you when you don't have that life, when that's not your lifestyle, it's jarring. It's like it's just uncomfortable. That's all it is. And that's not necessarily in a negative way. It's just not comfortable. That's all I'm saying. Uncomfortable don't have to be just negative all the time. I'm just saying it's not comfortable. You as a man, you got to walk around with your clothes on. You got little girls in the house. Like, all that stuff is just a thought in the front of your head when it's a week ago it wasn't. So that breeds anxiety because now you're constantly thinking about things. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for sharing your bathroom with me. I have been
like that's another thing. They kind of like took over the hallway bathroom, and it's like me, I don't want to be on the second floor if they're in the bathroom, like, because the kids just in and out the room, and it's like I just don't want any, and that breeds anxiety in my head because it's like, okay,
you want them to feel,
Yeah, I want them to feel comfortable, but I'm feeling uncomfortable, and it's like how do I navigate this? So that's why I'm a solid 8. Nothing negative though. Finances, I would say a solid 9. Work, I would say is hot, so it's like a solid 8. Like it's an 8. We can't go no lower than 8, but it's an 8. Physically, I feel good. I feel like a 10. I feel good. My body is changing. A lot of other people notice it, so I'm happy about that. Not just me. Even if I do notice it, or what subtle changes I might not see, other people see, and that means a lot. When and not just my wife. Like, when, of course, I would think, oh, she thinks I lost weight, but she's my wife. She's supposed to say I look good. But when other people tell you that don't have a dog in the race, it's like, those compliments really mean a lot, because it's like, damn, like.
So I know sometimes, like for myself, being on a weight loss journey several times in my life, you don't always see it, or you may see it in small ways in yourself, but you feel it more in your clothes and in your body. But pictures tell a different story. I sent you some pictures from 2018. Did that like really make it more real for you to see the difference?
Yeah, it was eye-opening. Because I look like you would think like 300 pounds. And it's like, damn, if another year of that would have went by, who knows what weight I would have been. And I didn't see myself like that. I didn't see myself with a gut like that. Like, I'm standing in the yard of our old house, like I didn't see myself, my gut like that. And I had on baggy clothes, like a baggy shirt, sweatpants.
I could see it. Well, of your
and then my neck and face,
your face was like very
and
chubby.
My beard was kind of low, so you really could see my cheeks like I was holding air, and it was like, nah, I see. And I think
right after that,
not why I see why things happen, but I like that shit breeds.
No, I think right after that was when you had lost like 50 pounds the first time in 2019. We both were on good journeys, COVID happened, and then we both kind of slowly but surely put back on some LBs. But pictures definitely make it realistic.
Yeah, I've seen your pictures like that and just thought, it's an old picture, like it's spread out or whatever. But no, like, yeah, your face do look big, your neck do look big, and I'm glad I've trimmed down to what I am. I feel like I'm going harder now, and I want to get down to 250, and then after that I want to get to 240, and then I want to reassess how I look and how I'm how
do
I'm
you
looking.
Care about my opinion about how you
yeah
look?
I care about your opinion.
Okay.
Hell yeah, I'm just saying I care about my opinion first, and I do care about your opinion second, but that's close to first.
I'm just saying.
But
I ain't never like the skinny dudes.
I don't want to be
just
skinny.
saying.
I don't
Okay.
want to be skinny, but I want to be healthy and slim. I want to be slim. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, you still gonna like me. I mean, I don't want to be 200 pounds. I don't want to be like a $180.
I want you to be as healthy as a whip. I want your body to
I just said
physically be 20 years younger than what you
I
are.
want to get to 250, then I'm going to work to 240, then I'm going to reassess. If 240 looks great, then I'm going to do my damnedest the rest of my life to stay at 240.
What if you like 240, but I think it's too thin?
Then I might go 245.
Okay. What's your wows and woes?
My wows is that the week is almost over. This has been a drag. Work has just been hot, and so it feels like the days are longer. I'm helping somebody, so it's just been a drag. I'm super glad that the week is almost coming to an end. That was my wow, right? My woe is I don't really have no woes. Like I said, there's nothing negative. The little people are here, my nieces and nephews, and they're fun to have around. They're got bigger, they're easier to talk to. But it's just different. It's just different. That's all. It's just different. And I hope people don't take that negatively, because I'm not saying it negatively. It's just different. Like you go from walking around naked with your wife and being in any room you want to be in, and it's like the kids took over a bathroom in 2 rooms, and it's like I got an apartment now. Like,
they did.
What the hell is going
rooms,
on?
yeah.
Like, the hell is going on? And it's cool. 9 days I thought was a bit much, if I'm being honest. I thought maybe the first go around should have been like 4 or 5. Would have been okay, but
we
9.
had to think about transportation of other people, though.
Yeah,
travel with them.
Then maybe it wasn't the right time.
Okay.
But maybe the first go round would have been, like 5 days would have been okay. But nevertheless, like I said, the week's almost over. It's all good. Yeah, and it's been cool to have them around a little bit.
Yeah.
Your wows and woes, ups and downs, stops and goes.
So my woe, and I'll start with my woe first, and not in a negative way, but just like a woe, is the kids being here. Because yes, it is different. Like the coordination of activity in your life, like not even an activity like doing something extra, but just coordination of your daily regimen is different. Like
you're thinking about
getting up, having to feed them, having to coordinate bath time. I'm still working. I had they came on a day that that I was working. The next day I was working, and I had a 3-day weekend. And then this week, it's kind of slow for me, but I'm still physically working. I do have off their last full day that they're here. So I have some plans for us. We'll, have a good day that day. But the woe is just the coordination. And like, I think I've been doing a good job of like, making sure, like when they've had to go out the house, like making sure their lunches are packed. They're eating, they're taking baths. You have been. The house ain't fell down. No. Nothing ain't been broken. Fingers crossed. Yet, but teaching them some new things. We started. I'll get into that. So again, that's my woe. Just the kids being here. It is being different. I'm on high alert. I don't feel stressed. Just high alert, I guess, is the best way to explain it.
What that
we got a
is
babysitter
anxiety.
tonight, and I feel like such a sense of relief of not having to worry about bath time or hearing unsolicited noises or doors open and shut or arguing and bickering and he hit me and she scratched
Or
me.
feel like they're coming through the floor, like somebody doing backflips upstairs when we turn
I think
our
about
back.
when people live in apartments and they got people upstairs with kids. Oh my God.
I think about like when I was a kid, did I do that? Like when they left out the room, like let's do a flip. Because that's what it sounded like. It sounded like, all right, they downstairs.
But the crazy thing is, they have ample opportunity to flip and run, like have a ball outside, and they don't want to. But they want to play gymnastics and play Iron Man and, play let me hold your leg up in the air and help you hop across the floor.
And they run everywhere. They don't, like me and my wife, walk around the house. Like they run everywhere and they touch every wall. And that's another thing. It's like, damn, because the kids are here. Am I going to have to paint?
And I tell them 99,000 times, wash your hands, 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 wash your hands. I don't know how many rolls, and I am a paper towel bandit. So I know we go through a lot of paper towels because of me, but this week, woo. So that's my wow. I love my babies dearly. The wow is my babies are here. I absolutely miss them. I love them. It's so funny and entertaining and joyful to see how much they've grown, the conversations that they have, not just with me. Like I listen to them just having conversations with each other, their imagination. It's making me a little emotional. Just like getting to see and experience their growth, see their different personalities. It's a beautiful thing. It's a lot and it's different, being able to teach them things. We started having morning and evening prayer, and one day I forgot, and it was like, we didn't pray this morning. And like that really touched my heart. And then, my sister's watching tonight, and I asked, I said, okay, y'all don't forget to pray tonight. Who's going to lead the prayer? And my niece, the bossiest of the bosses, said me. And I said, okay, who's going to lead morning prayer? My nephew, he said me, because he wants to do anything his sisters wants to do, especially his sister right above him. They're only 16 months apart, and like as much as they get on his nerves, he wants to do exactly everything she does. So that's the wild part of it. I love them dearly. And just having them here is special for me. It's a lot. It's special, and I really I'm grateful for my husband for helping to orchestrate this, helping to allocate some funds to make this happen. And it's caused un poquito tension between not even tension between us. I don't want to say that. And I'll take responsibility. It has made me a little tense because I know just everything he explained to y'all. He's an 8 mentally, right? And y'all know he rarely says that. So that makes me a little tense because I know he's feeling that way and I want him to be comfortable. At the same time, I don't want the kids to feel like, we kind of had a little bit of TV time downstairs yesterday, even though that they almost ruined that. And their big sister told me they have movie nights sometimes and they cancel it because they can't stop arguing to decide on a movie. And it's like, I don't want them to feel like they have spacious, beautiful, air-conditioned, comfortable rooms to be in. And honestly, if I leave it up to them, they're okay being in the rooms on the tablets. But I just wanted us all to be together. I tell these kids, we're going to have some TV time. Y'all can watch TV in the living room for a little bit. He got an 80-inch, that's an 80-inch TV, right? An 80-inch TV in the living room. They start running up. I'm like, where are you going? I'm going to get my tablet. I said we can watch a movie on the TV. Why are you going to get tablets? Their plan was, we're going to sit in the living room and all watch something different. Absolutely not. No electronics in the living room. We're going to watch a movie on the TV, and that's what we're going to do. And it ended up working out after 10 minutes of them arguing and me threatening to cancel it. But it's just, I love them dearly. If you know me, you know how I feel about them kids. And this is only 3 out of 5 of them. Collectively, we have 20 nieces and nephews. One, rest in peace, who passed away. But we have 20 nieces and nephews between us. And, I love my babies. And that's biological. I have other nieces and nephews that I love immensely, just as if they were by blood. So that's my wow. Just, having my babies is a special, special time. It made me think, like, when you would hear people as kids growing up saying, like, oh, such and such went to their grandmom's down south for the summer, or like some. It's like for the summer, like.
Or grandma lived and they go outside. That was back in the day where kids went outside and played, and grandma get that switch and get that going. So that's not your style. That's not, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I mean they ain't did nothing.
No, I'm just saying, like,
they was on punishment the other day for 10 minutes.
You know what I do think, and this is no shots at you. You're Aunt Tasha, so they love to be in your face and they love to have your affirmation. They want to know what you're doing all the time. They want to know like what you're thinking all the time. So you don't have a hard line with them, and you never did. And it's not something that is an attribute to watching and taking care of them. That's it. So I'm not saying it in a bad way, but it's like your soft spot for them. Like you tell everybody, you love them as if they're yours, and it shows with how you take care of them. How you even when we was leaving the park the other day when you was it the first time we went? No, I think we only went around there. No, we went twice.
When we played kickball.
Yeah, when we played kickball, and we was leaving, and you was like, "All right, it's time to go, y'all. I gotta go home and cook," and then you was like, but I'm gonna bring y'all back tomorrow, I promise. And it's like you'll do that because in the moment I think you feel bad that it's time to go, and you just want to reassure them that we're gonna have more fun and I'm gonna bring you back to the park. Where most parents will be like, okay, you had your fun, it's time to go home, get in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I guess you probably don't know what I'm saying.
I don't. I was gonna say because I don't. I mean, my plan was to come back, but.
No, even if you do or you don't, I'm just talking about the reassurance of, okay, don't be sad because we're leaving, because I promise I'm going to bring you back. So smile again, be okay again. It's like you don't ever want them to be sad, which is indicative of your personality and how you grew up, always wanting to take care and make sure everybody else was okay.
I can see that in some ways, but it's because in other ways I will. Not yet. Of course, I don't want them to be sad if it's unnecessary. But in some, like they've been asking me, "You don't have work on Friday. What are we doing?" None of your business, because I don't want, you tell kids something and then they're gonna be wrong. Like, is it time for this? Is it time for this? Even
like know when Friday is. You old enough to know when Friday is. And I'm not giving them no inclination, because if something changes, and to be honest, what I wanted to do was I wanted them to pick out some flowers that we saw in Walmart. I wanted to plant some flowers in a pot in front of our door so I can like have them as not memories, like they're not going to be here, but like, oh, my baby picked these flowers and I want them to help me, but I'm not telling them anything because I don't need them in my ear every 5 minutes. Is it time? Is it time? Is it time? Is it time? I wanted to take them to breakfast. I've been making them breakfast in the morning because as a kid, we ate cereal for breakfast 97% of the time. And we love cereal like any other kids. But it made me so happy to get a hot breakfast. I don't know how you felt about that as a kid. We never went to breakfast. It made me happy to
No, I mean, even if your mom cooked it at home. Yeah, we only...
She cooked breakfast. Yeah, she cooked breakfast, but we would always want to go to Nana house for breakfast.
Like during the week for school, my grandma would like make a plate of like sausage, a plate of bacon, a plate of sometimes like scrapple, and she would have a loaf of bread. So she had a daycare center on her kitchen table. You knew it would be out. If you had time to stop by there in the morning, on your way to school, you would grab a piece of bread, put some bacon in there. And I love that. But I'm talking about like actual sit down breakfast. My mom, we was
only on like a Saturday or something.
No, so for us that was every school day because my grandma had the daycare center Monday through Friday. But I didn't always have time to stop at her house. My mom always made hot breakfast for my dad on Saturday and Sunday. So sometimes we would get breakfast too with him. Sometimes not. And then once in a rare blue moon would she like make us a breakfast sandwich. Like, we got a breakfast sandwich hot on our way out the door for school. Yeah, that felt like
rarity. I can
I'm
be
going
honest.
to school. I got a breakfast sandwich in my bag.
My mom did that sometimes because we would walk a different way to school or whatever. But we always, because lunch money was at Nana house, so we always wanted to go there. And sit down breakfast was only for Saturday and Sunday. You never had time on a school.
But did y'all get that every Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, you always got to sit at my mom's house or Nana house. You got to sit down.
Yeah, see,
breakfast.
we didn't. We got a lot with my dad, but not always.
Yeah, because At my mom's house, you can eat breakfast at like 10.
Well,
at Nana house, at 10 o'clock, breakfast was a wrap.
Now, see, at my house, sometimes my dad might not get up until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So, but he would get breakfast. So, again, for me, a hot cooked breakfast in the morning always made me feel special because, again, we ate cereal 97% of the time. So my sister was saying, like, you can buy a box of cereal and get them some milk. I'm like, no, even Toya was like, I can't believe you cooking for them. Like, go to Wendy's or Chick-fil-A. But I'm like, I don't buy fast food like that. But I enjoy cooking them breakfast. They love my cinnamon pancakes. They love my hot apples. Like,
and again, I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. I'm just speaking from most parents would be like, I'm getting some cereal and stuff.
I 100% get that.
Hold on, let me think, because I don't want to be in front of the stove for 4 or 5 meals a day or whatever. And I know they eat fruit and stuff like that, but it's like, or every morning I'm at the stove cooking breakfast when I can just be like, go downstairs and make some cereal, make 3 bowls of cereal, and that's fine. Like, as long as it's not a sugary cereal, then it's fine.
I 100% get that. Again, this is a week out of my life. So I'm not saying parents should do that every day. But for me, I'm doing for them what always made me feel special. Now, of course, if these were our kids here every day, I can guarantee you I probably wouldn't be making hot breakfast I probably would do it more often than not because, one, cereals are horrible. They're so full of sugar. And two, for me, it's my childhood thing. I think having a hot breakfast makes a kid feel special. So, but no, you're absolutely right. And having the kids and doing things, there are some things that I probably do to cater to them because it's for 1 week. Taking them to the park and doing those things. And I don't want them to feel, but there are some things too where it's like, can I have this? No, you just had this. Like, and this is another part of my, I don't want to say childhood trauma because I don't want to keep reusing that word, but I never want kids to have like a body issue, like as far as with their weight or making a kid feel like they have to be on a diet ever. But I have, and I know my sister's kind of like this with them too. I don't like when parents allow their kids to eat unhealthily or overweight parents have overweight children. It's like, what you had to go through in life and how difficult it may have been for you to navigate, or even if it wasn't difficult as a child, you as an adult fighting that weight loss struggle, why would you then allow your child to come along that fat train with you?
Because you don't care.
Well, and that's the thing with me, I do care, and that's why I buy the fruit and I buy the grapes. Like this morning they had a banana and pancakes, or yesterday they had omelets and grapes. For their snack. Well, I asked you, babe, can you cut them up some strawberries and grapes? So they're not eating junk. Like, they get something sweet for dessert, but they're not eating junk all day because that excessive meals. Like, my big baby, I love her. When I say big, the oldest one that's here, she's a growing girl. She's prepubescent, and I know your appetite and stuff starts to change, and I have to pour, like if one of them don't want their food, she'll say like, oh, you can give it to me. Absolutely not. You had a good meal. I know you're not hungry, so I don't feel bad, but you can't have the other one's food. Like, and I don't want to, again, give any kid a body image issue, but I think you do have to, we can't just let kids eat junk.
I think that's the one thing you can control is their intake in food and junk and the kind of food that they eat, whether it be unhealthy or healthy. But certain, one thing as a parent, I realize you have no control over what they're going to feel about themselves or how they're going to see the world.
Right.
You can pour all you want into them and think that you're giving them all the right game and all that shit, but how they see the world, how they perceive themselves in the world, and how they look at shit, you have zero control over.
Yeah, and it's weird too because you don't know where they're
And I'm not saying you shouldn't care because this person that you had is one day going to grow up and be their own person. So let the chips fall where they may. No, you give them the foundation, you teach them the right things, but just be aware that you don't control any of that shit.
Right, I think you just can do the best that you can.
Like you don't control any of it.
Into them and hope that they remember. Like the 8-year-old this morning, she asked me, "Do you think my nose is big?" I'm like, no, your nose is perfect. It fits your face. Then she says, do you think the gap in my teeth makes me look weird? I said, no, that's so cute. I love your gap. So I know I can only say that to her and hope that that sinks in and that, you know, she remembers those things. But like you said, I have no control over what other messages she may receive and how she may internalize that. I can just do the best that I can to help them have a positive image, a positive mindset of themselves. And I think as parents, whether actual parent, aunt, caretaker, person that just loves a kid, that's all we can ever do is do our best to guide them, lead them, hopefully protect them, love them, and instill in them, and just pray for the best.
Yeah, they just look at it like, you know, you're my aunt, you're my mom, you're my dad, you're my uncle, you're my brother, like you said, you love me. But when your peers say things like that about you, that's what you hold near and dear to your heart. That's what hurts your feelings or not. You know, your aunt, yeah, that's great. Of course, keep saying your nose ain't big because it's not, and you beautiful and all that stuff. But that feels good probably more to you than her. Her friend saying you don't have a big nose is probably like something she would want to hear.
Yeah, well, no, it doesn't feel good. I mean, it doesn't feel good to me. It makes me think like, oh my God, is this where it starts? Like,
but I mean,
so
it feels good that you can stop and be like, hold up. No, I'm right in this moment. I'm gonna show you that you're beautiful and let you know that you're beautiful. That don't feel good.
No, what I'm saying is it makes me, it causes a little bit of worry because it's like, is she reaching that stage or now like the reinforcement you have to give, because it's like, this is one moment that I'm saying this to you, but like you said, what are the 17 people in your classroom saying to you? Or are you watching something on YouTube that's showing you about nose jobs or something?
It's no different from just your insecurities start to develop when you're a kid. My teeth was the same way growing up and seeing people smile and being like, damn, they teeth straight and white. Or my older brother teeth was straight and white. This one, it was like, okay, like something wrong with my teeth.
Do you remember what age that started for you?
Like early teens.
Okay. Like well, again, teens. She's 8.
I'm saying like 12, 13, yeah, it started. So yeah, I mean, but it's a new time now. So a lot of things happen a lot earlier. But for me, it was like 12, 13 when I started to realize, or I noticed myself like not smiling because I was insecure about, okay, damn, my teeth crooked. Or I stopped eating candy or something like that because I started to feel like, damn, that girl I like or that dude that I'm hanging with, like just all that kind of shit. Your peers is what count.
Do you remember though what moment, because I understand what you're saying about those feelings at 12, 13, but I remember a very confident young man at 15, 16. Do you remember what that turning point was for you?
What, when I like
when you started to feel your confidence?
Oh, my confidence I always had, but the insecurities, like, cause I always felt good about myself, and I always could talk, and I always could dance in front of people and do dumb shit.
But you just had those little insecurities.
They started to develop as I got older, as I got around my peers and started to see other people, and it was like, oh, okay, like you realize I'm not that, or I don't have that, or, you know, I don't look like that. Yeah, all those things start to weigh. Some things roll right off your shoulder like you don't care, but some things you just happen to care about. Like, I'm sure there was some people who had bad teeth who saw other people's teeth and didn't give a shit because that wasn't on their list. It just rolled off them. They might have cared about something else, the color of their skin or whatever. Why am I so dark or whatever? But you start to develop them insecurities as you get older.
I remember for me, first, I remember the hair thing. I vividly remember about 8 years old feeling like...
Hold on, let me stop. Did you always want to... Because I'm trying to think. Did you tell me that you always wanted to have like a grown person hairdo?
Well, and you're going to laugh at this because you're going to see how life comes full circle. I wanted my hair brushed back into a ponytail. That was like, I felt like... And that's his favorite hairstyle. I remember my 3rd grade pictures. I have a straight back ponytail because at that age I decided I did not want to wear ponytails anymore. I felt like that was such a mature, grown up.
Who was holding the ponytail?
Who was holding?
What was holding it?
I like a scrunchie or something.
I just thought you probably still had some little girl like a bow clip or some shit like
no,
that. You said a scrunchie, it's like, okay, that's plain.
Yeah, it was like that was the thing. Like I didn't want barrettes and ponytails anymore.
That's what I'm asking. Was it a bally? Was it? It
might have been like
that?
But see, one bally was fine. But having a bunch of ballies, if you just had one bally and a ponytail, that was fine. But I just wanted my hair brushed back in a ponytail. I thought that was like a mature. And who the hell at 8 is thinking about being mature? But for me, it was like, this is the mature look that I want. And that is his. It's so funny. It's so funny because that is his favorite hairstyle to this day. But I remember that. And I also remember, if you see my school pictures for kindergarten, first, second, maybe third grade, I can't really remember, I'm smiling with no teeth like this. Now, anybody that knows me know, I always smile with my teeth. But I remember my grandfather, my dad's dad, him just always telling me I had a beautiful smile. And that really stuck in my brain and gave me confidence. And I started smiling, showing my teeth, and never stopped. I started smiling, showing my teeth, and I never stopped. But I remember as a kid, that, kindergarten through third grade school pictures, it was just like, this was all you was getting. I wasn't being cheesy. I just felt like it was, I don't know if I was.
That's why people speak to you in the street. That's why people attract to you, is because you smile with your teeth. Like, you see people smile and it's just a smile, but you smile with your teeth. Like,
it just feels natural to me.
But it's a thing. It's not like a regular smile.
If I smile like this, I'm being fake.
No, you
I'm
can
being
smile
phony.
and show teeth.
No, I'm saying
I'm just saying, smile now. Yeah, that's a smile with teeth. But when you smile with your teeth, it's different.
Yeah.
Like, if I come home from work and you miss me or something, like, you smile with your teeth, like you're doing now.
Yeah. But if you ever see me smiling with no teeth, please know it's phony, or I'm trying to.
She's thinking about something else.
I'm trying to keep it in, But
I don't like you. I want to get away from you.
Yes, but I remember that confidence starting to seep in at that age. Now, another thing that made me insecure as a kid, which again, life comes full circle, is so crazy. And I don't mean this with no disrespect, right? My mom used to dress us very colorfully, short sets with flowers all over. And if you know me, it's what? That's how...
I don't want to look like an Easter basket.
No, I used to say, why are you always trying to dress us like Puerto Ricans? That's how I felt. She dressed us or I used to say she dressed us like Skittles. It used to burn me up. I did not want a bunch of colorfuls and to be all bright. And if you know me now, it's sis, that's exactly who I am, and I love it. And I don't know. I think then it wasn't so much that I didn't like it. As a kid, for me, I never wanted to feel like the spotlight is on you. Mm-hmm. So I felt like when you're dressed like that, it brings the spot. It wasn't that I didn't like it. It was just oh my God, everybody's going to be looking at me.
I remember though, y'all used to look, like three little girls, but I guess y'all felt weird. I understand that though.
Yeah. So it wasn't that I didn't like the outfits. I felt like it's going to bring too much attention. And now it's you know what? I like it and I'm just going to wear what I like. So, but that's weird to hear the comparison and how boys develop their confidence and how girls.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was young, I always used to dance in front of my mom and brothers and all that kind of stuff, and grandmother, and so I always had confidence to do stuff. And another thing with young boys people don't talk about, and this is a whole nother conversation, is girls create insecurities in young boys too, rejection and shit like that. That shit'll make you humble or not know how to react to it. Now all of a sudden, you once was a person who would walk up to a girl and say what's up and hi, and now some girl said no to you and you shut down, and it's that can create an insecure. So little girls can create insecurities in boys too as you growing up.
So let me ask this, right? As you became a man, how do you feel about men complimenting other men? As ladies, you see somebody and I receive it often and I give it often. I'll tell somebody like, oh, I love your dress, or your hair looks beautiful, or your makeup looks like, when we out, like somebody will say something to me, I may see somebody say something to them. For women, it's almost a natural thing to do that. It's like ain't no sweat off my back to give somebody else their props. How does that feel for a man?
For some, I mean, if you take ego out the way, if men take ego out the way, I think men should compliment men. But most men have that ego of, I don't want to say no gay shit. I don't want to say no man look a certain way. And that's fucked up, because if I get complimented on my beard from other dudes. I get complimented on the way I slim down from other dudes. Like, so I don't think it's a problem with that. And I compliment guys when I see dudes I haven't saw in a while. They might have a haircut. I'm like, yo, bro, you look good. You got a haircut? Yeah. Like, that's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't think we should be walking around saying, hey, bro, you look cute. Like, I don't think we should be using the vernacular of a woman. But to say, yo, bro, you got a cut? Yeah, all right, you look good. Like, you clean up nice. Like, nothing wrong with that.
Okay, but so in those examples you just mentioned, except for the beard, because we have been places and it could be a complete stranger. Like, you're saying that
today I got complimented on my beard and I don't even have a haircut.
But what I'm saying is, like you said, people will say, "Oh, you slim down," or you'll compliment on somebody having a haircut. So obviously, those are exchanges between people that you're familiar with. What about, we've been together, somebody
Not necessarily. That's what I'm saying. Today I had a compliment from a total stranger.
No, I said other than your beard. Because we've been together and people have complimented your beard. But if somebody's saying you slim down, they know you. If you're telling somebody, oh, you got a haircut, it looks nice, you know them.
Right.
So outside of that and outside of your beard, we've been together and somebody might be like, yo, they some fly kicks you have on.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Or have you done that to a man?
Yes.
Okay.
I've done that. I've asked the dude, yo, where you get them J's from?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how far would that go? Like, if you see, now, of course, I'm not saying the language of saying it's cute. If you see a guy, he got on a fly sweatsuit, would you be like, yo, that's a nice sweatsuit, my guy?
No, but I definitely would download what he has on if I'm interested in it that much. I don't think I probably would approach somebody.
No, maybe not ask, but you just be like, that's a nice sweatsuit and keep going, or you just wouldn't comment?
If I had the opportunity and if I felt like I wanted to compliment him, yeah. If I was close to him, I would say, yo, that's a dope sweatsuit.
And just
no problem. Yep, and just keep it moving. But I also, when I see things on guys that I like, I download it. Like, okay, that's a Sergio Cittini sweatsuit. Like, let me remember to go to that website or something like that. Like,
so old school.
Yeah, I don't have to go up to him and say, yo, where'd you get that sweatsuit? Like, I see it's a Sergio Tech sweatsuit, so let me just, okay, that's...
And I'm not necessarily saying asking where they got it from, because that can be tricky. Some people are gatekeepers, so I don't...
So that's another reason why I don't open up for that.
But even just saying, yo, that's a dope sweatsuit, or yo, that's a nice sweater you got on, or bro, that's a nice jacket.
Recently, I've complimented the guy on his hat. And what else? I complimented the guy on his shoes.
Okay. So, and you also got, but again, it's usually people that you're pretty familiar with.
And these were total strangers.
No, but I'm saying for you, you get compliments on your cologne.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for women, again, it could be strangers. One day I was going to the doctor's office and this lady walked by me and she probably was 10 steps, we going in different directions. She's 10 steps behind me and she's like, damn, you smell good, sis. And I was like, thank you. So, I mean, again, and I wouldn't expect a man to, you would be like, that was a little aggressive, you know.
It's a bit much.
But, I see, and I think that's dope, that as a man, you don't mind doing that. Because it's like, those are the things. I don't think no
men should, but it's ego.
Right.
It's that I don't want to be sounding gay or I don't want to be sounding like a punk.
That's
and it's
so
like,
childish.
if you like his coat, bro, and you might, want to know where you got it from, ask them.
But even if you don't, you can just say, that's a nice jacket. Like, just to tell somebody that's a nice jacket, or you look fly.
Well, if you think it's nice, that means you like it. So, you might want it.
I know, but I'm just saying that's like the next step to ask somebody. Because the thing where that gets tricky, and I've experienced this personally. I had a hat that somebody bought me as a gift, and somebody was like, that is such a nice hat. Oh my God, do you mind if I ask where you got it from? And I was like, you know what? It was a gift. She was like, oh, she thought I was lying. So that's where that gets tricky. I'm not a gatekeeper at all. people have messaged me and I'll give them a whole rundown. But
if I'm being honest, sometimes I think you should.
Well,
Sometimes I think you should.
I
That's you're absolutely right. You're not. You will share anything, and it's like I'm not a selfish person. I've grew up with 4 other brothers and a sister, so I've shared my life with her. So I'm not a selfish person, but some things it's like, okay, this is gonna be my thing. I'm gonna keep this for me.
I'm
like
just
there's nothing
saying,
wrong with that.
A dress, a sweater, a hat,
it don't
whatever.
matter. Socks. It
But
don't
what
matter.
I'm saying is, I think it gets tricky in
restaurant.
asking somebody where they got something from because they could really not know, and you feel like they lying, or it could be old. Like,
and it's unwritten rules too. Like I would never ask a man, what's that cologne? If I think it smell good, I just think it smell good. But between men, that's like an unwritten rule.
But men have asked you.
Yeah, but that's an unwritten rule. I don't know who these dudes is. I've never would ask no dude like, yo, what's that cologne name?
So, okay, let me just say this.
It's like, you want to smell like me, bruh?
But okay, 2 things.
And don't give me that shit, it smell different on everybody.
No, 2 things I'm going to say that. One, do you think that's a cultural thing? Because I do know the people that have asked you aren't black.
Could be.
Is that a cultural thing?
It could be. I don't know for sure, but it could be. I know I've never asked a dude, and I like plenty of people cologne, but I've never asked a guy, yo, what kind of cologne is that?
And secondly, I think it is a slippery slope because you're right. Body chemistries are very different. Like Toya, she loves cologne. She loves perfume. Almost anything smells good, or like she will have something on and it smells so amazing, and I smell and I'm like, I don't really like it on me. So it is different. Like somebody can suggest something, but it doesn't mean, you're right, like it's going to smell the same on you as somebody eats too much salami or
it's
like
not even
anything.
about that. It's just about another dude asking another dude, yo, where you get your cologne. It's almost like they're toiletries, bro. Like, go get your own.
Well, it shouldn't be where did you get it, but like, do you mind what name? Yeah.
Nah, like don't do that. Don't ask me. Because first off, again, here comes ego. It kicks in because it's like and it's weird because it's like, why you smelling me? But I got cologne on. You're gonna smell me,
right?
But you smelling me, then you gonna walk up to me and ask me what kind of cologne? Like, nah, bro. Like, type of time you on?
And it's so funny because women are different. 2 people, Toya or Shanique, I will text them sometimes, say, have you smelled, like if I see a advertisement for a cologne or something, a perfume or something, or even cologne for you, I'll ask if they've smelled it because they both are really big, cologne and perfume lovers.
So if you had 13 perfumes in your closet on your dresser, and it was all certain names, and you went to one of your friends' house and just happened to be in their bedroom, and it was the same 13 bottles because you had shared, oh, this smells good, oh, this smells good, or she constantly said, damn, what's that perfume you got on? Would you even think twice at all about sharing perfume the next time?
No, I would not care at all. First of all, I mean, I look at perfume is certain levels, right? It's like your cheap level of like, whatever perfumes you want to buy. And then it's like that mid-level that we usually buy. And then you got the high price level of like $300 plus perfume. So most people that I know now, like, most people I know are in the mid-level and then the high level. So we're going to have the popular perfumes are popular, like all the YSLs, the
Flower
Prada, so we usually have the same perfumes anyway.
Okay.
Now, again, for me, as much as I cannot bring myself to buy any perfume that's $300 or, God forbid, even more. It's this perfume, Delina. I look at it all the time. I can't buy it because my thing is this: it's going to run out. If I knew it would last forever, then that's a different story. But it's going to run out, so that's why I can't bring myself to buy those high price. But to your point, I wouldn't care because it's like, I mean, there's a lot of fragrances, but the ones that smell good, it's kind of like perfumes. I don't want to say they become trendy, but it's like, what good perfume is out now? What good, like when Sauvage came out, that kind of became a classic. Certain ones become a classic, and you kind of expect people to have it.
But you're supposed to get up off that.
But some you kind of...
That's like a real, I forget what they call a cologne connoisseur, but you're supposed to get up off that.
Yeah, but
like
some
you're
always
supposed to retire that Polo Blue.
Well,
you might keep a bottle. But you just
you
retire
get
it. It's
new
always
ones.
at the back of the
Yeah, but
of
you
your
always
row.
keep a bottle
That's,
just
yeah,
in
you
case
keep a
you
bottle,
have that day.
because it's a classic, but it's always at the back. You rarely wear that.
I feel like that about Flower Bomb. Like I always want Flower Bomb to be. I don't care what becomes new, what new smells come out, what new fragrances. That's like one of them. Like I just love it.
They might discontinue though if if it's like on the 8th one, and that one you like ain't making it no more.
Nah, I'm just saying, there's just some classics that it's like, this is a classic. So, but I think that's super dope that you and other men, because I've been a witness to it, don't have that ego. It's a shame that so many men do. Like, I love that page that's called, I don't know if it's called Black Men Smile or something, but a lady goes around and tell men, damn, you look good. And it's like, take pictures of like not look good in a flirtatious way, but she takes, like their reaction is almost like, damn, I never got a compliment before.
I went into the salt and pepper group for your beards. One day, out.
Why?
Flooded my timeline with salt and pepper beards and shit like that. I was like, oh no, we unfollowing this right now. I think I was following for like 10 hours. It was like, nope, this ain't for me. I'm out. It was like, you're out of this group, you're banned out of this group. I was like, all right, whatever.
Oh, wow.
Like, it was on Facebook. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
3 grams. Go.
Did you hear there was a flight? Whew, I gotta take a deep breath for this. From Montego Bay, Jamaica to Fort Lauderdale. And they got a signal over the loudspeaker saying, please prepare yourself for a water landing. And for some people, they had pulled out their life jackets.
Some people was crying.
There was some mechanical issues. It was a Spirit Airline flight, which I don't even want to say this is just because of Spirit, because nowadays these planes been acting shady.
Like
so it could be
Boeing planes on the market.
It could have been anybody. So I'm not gonna make this a knock on Spirit. This is just flying, period. Now, luckily, they were able to make it back to Jamaica, which is even crazy in of itself. Like, that's a 2-hour flight. Like, what the hell went wrong when you couldn't get from... Y'all didn't know this before we took off? That you couldn't make it from Jamaica to Fort Lauderdale? Actually, that's like an hour and a half, because it's 3 hours for us to get to Jamaica. And so, yeah, it's an hour. So y'all couldn't make it an hour and a half, and y'all didn't know that before we took off? And they had to turn around and go back to Jamaica, which means we're going to have to wait again. And then now my anxiety is up. I got to get on I would have rather y'all took me home. Now my anxiety is up and I got to get on another plane. I'm terrified.
What would be your first recourse of action if we had a sign like that on the plane? We got a water landing. Are you, and be honest, are you falling apart and crying, or are you like, I'm putting on my life vest, I'm alert, what we gotta do next? Like, what's the next move? Or are you like, oh my God, I don't want to die?
I'm not falling apart and crying. I try to keep a very optimistic outlook on things, even when they're really bad, until I don't have a choice. I'm putting on my life vest. I don't want to talk. I need silence in my mind.
So you saying in that moment, your constitution is firm?
No, I'm panicking in the inside, but I'm sitting there with my life vest on. So it shows you how much I'm panicking.
But what if I'm saying, babe, I love you, like, you okay, babe, I love you? You're gonna be like, I don't want to talk?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm not crying and falling apart.
Okay.
We're gonna sit here. We're gonna sit here and pray with our life vests on. We're not
gonna think about what to do.
What are we gonna do but land and get in the water with these life vests? What are we gonna do?
There might be something that goes awry. Something can go wrong. I don't know if we should have like a contingency plan. Like, okay, babe, if when we get in the water, we're going to do this together. Like, you don't leave. Like, don't make sure you find me. I'm going to find you. We're going to get to the shore. Like, what do you mean?
Okay, we're going to talk about that.
We need to have a plan.
We're going to talk about that after we pray.
Okay, but you said all we're going to do is pray. Like, we're not once
going
to
pray until we know we go. We're going to have our vest on first. We're not waiting for nobody to tell us to put our vest on. We are sitting there with our vest on first, inflated, okay? So we sitting there like this with the vest on. We're praying. Then I need you to take lead, and what's the plan?
If we get into the water, you find me, I find you, and...
Find you? We're not separating.
babe, if we get into the water and we get separated, find me and I'll find you. But don't just swim off. Like, you could be discombobulated, you could be hurt. We about to land in water on a fucking airline.
Hoo-de-hoo!
We don't know if we're going to slam to the ceiling. We don't know if water going to rush in our faces. Like, we don't know. So let's have a plan in case some shit happen.
Lord, that's
all I'm saying. You sitting there talking about let's just pray like we're going to nose and like land on the water while we saying our prayers. Like, we need to be alert looking out the window like what the fuck going to happen now?
I get all that, but prayer first and foremost.
Yes.
All right, and then we'll ask God for our guidance to give us a plan. But we ain't planning nothing without God being in the midst of it.
Like MacGyver, that if something happens, we can get out of this.
First, God, fix this plane. Let's do that first, right? Hopefully that's your plan, to fix this plane first. And if that's not in your will and we do have to meet the water, guide us, lead us, help us swim, keep the sharks away. Don't let us burn. Don't let us drown. Let us make it home safely.
I don't know what my reaction would be, but I hope I wouldn't panic, and because a water landing is like, this thing could blow the fuck up when you land. This is not a thing with paddles on the bottom. Like, the gasoline is in the wings. That shit slam against the water. Like, anything could happen. I just want to be alert. I'm going to pray with you and probably to myself, but I'm going to have a plan. Like,
the man did it on the river.
If I get it, yeah, but that ain't Sully. That's like an anomaly. How many times that shit happen in our life?
Yeah. Oh, that's God bless all those people that was on that plane. I cannot imagine the fear that they have. They make you go through all these emergency things before the flight takes off. But who think that it's really going to happen to them? Like, who really banks on that? Like,
you don't.
That's crazy.
But I think when it's a spirit flight, then a lot of people will tie, see, I told you.
I don't think you can, like you said, nowadays with these Boeing airplanes, the damn door flew off of the Alaska Airlines. So I don't think you can, like, make this a spirit thing. I think overall the aviation industry needs to get, like, their QC measures up to check, because somebody ain't doing the quality control the way they need to be quality controlling. Like, that's what I think.
I agree. The Pope, behind closed doors, was talking about gay men, said he don't want to deal with this faggotry.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of surprised that I'm kind of surprised that he, at that age, and I don't mean no disrespect, but like, it's like
he's the Pope. He can't say that.
Is alert enough to say that.
Nah, he alert. He alert. He the Pope. You can't say that though, babe. You got to be aware of the position you hold.
You think he has, like...
It's like Mother Teresa being on a mic behind closed doors saying, I'm sick of helping these motherfuckers.
But you think he has, like, PC in his brain, like, to be politically correct? You think or some decorum? He probably like, I'm the Pope, I can say what I want.
I think to be the Pope, you're kind of probably taught that. It's in your notes that you're the Pope in this time in 2024. You can't talk like you're in the 50s, dude.
But you know how old people get old and they feel like I can say what I want.
And I mean, it was a closed meeting, so I do understand
he didn't think
that
nobody
part
would leak
of it. Yeah, I understand that part of it, him thinking he was in a private meeting, so we say things in private that we wouldn't say in public, so that's just everybody. But you're the Pope, though. You got to have a little bit of decorum.
I would think so.
They say you're the lead Catholic of all Catholicism. So, I mean, they say that in that religion that you're the lead guy.
And it's like, what is your point in saying that? Because God loves all people. He may not like the things that everybody does, but God loves all people. So saying that if you're saying that in the sense of you not wanting to deal with homosexuals, then that's a problem, because again, that's not like God. Like, but I mean, I don't necessarily recognize or have any reverence to the Pope. So that's for the Catholics to have to deal with.
Go.
You ever practice for an argument?
Unfortunately, yes.
Did you get off what you thought you was gonna get off, or did it go the way you practiced?
Did it a few times.
So, and it got off the way you thought?
No, not every time. Not every time. Sometimes I was disappointed. I froze in a moment. Probably needed some sleep. Probably needed some
You
sleep.
practice with us?
Yes. Yeah, in our early years. Yep. A lot of things I did with you, so it's not with anybody else. But yeah, hell yeah, I practiced. And I mean, I practiced arguing with my mom and things like that when I was young as a kid. I would go up in my room and be like, watch when she come up here, I'm going to be like, this, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. Like, she ain't going to be able to say nothing. I'm going to get this out, I'm going to get that, because I'm tired of her making me feel like that. And again, that didn't always work out. I would freeze in the moment.
Yeah, I definitely have practiced for argument. And it's crazy because you practice sometimes and then when the situation arises, you don't even need it.
No.
And it's like, damn, it went differently.
Because you always practice for, I wish a motherfucker would.
Yeah, and it goes a different way.
Yeah, you don't practice.
Or we come to we come to a resolution. It's like, oh, it wasn't even an argument. That's good. Or you ever, what gets on my nerves though, like if you have a little argument or altercation or whatever, and then afterwards you be thinking like, damn, I forgot to say this, and I could have said this.
Oh my God.
Where it's like, that would have hit good in that. Like, that would have fit right in the equation, but I forgot to say it. And now it's like on the back end, you don't want to make it seem like you bringing up old stuff or starting. You don't want to be like, we talked about yesterday. Like, I know we all good now, but then it's like, where the hell you come from with this?
You psycho backwards person.
But I mean, you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared.
Yeah, I mean, prepared is one thing because you just want to have your thoughts together, but practicing is another thing.
Yeah. Oh, I've definitely
like
practiced.
Practicing is like
it's some people in my life
you cursing
today,
to nobody, and you just like, motherfucker, you ain't gonna do
it's
shit.
Some people in my life today, they ever give me an opportunity. It's about a handful, like 4 or 5 of them. They ever give me an opportunity, baby. And that's why I don't argue with people, because I know, like, I don't like to be a mean person. I'm not a mean person. I don't like for somebody to take me there. Or, as therapy said, nobody can take you there. I don't like for myself to allow myself to go there.
You choose to go there.
Yeah. And if you open the door, I might walk in. I might not.
It's the handles on both sides. So if they open one side, why don't you just shut the other side?
But you inviting me in. I don't want to be rude.
But it's negative in there.
I know.
It's negative in there.
I've done a great job up until this point, but baby, I ain't perfect. Don't leave that door closed.
Let's do a wrap. Act 2 the podcast, episode 177 coming to a close. Guys can catch us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, Player FM. It is your boy, International Walk.
And it is your girl. I can't even say it with that whole tone. It's your girl, Tosh, the co-hostess with the mostest.
Throwing it to her. Oh, before I throw it to her, rest in peace to Bill Walton. He died. NBA legend. One on every level. Great guy, great personality, great broadcaster. Grew up with him my whole life. Listening to his voice for NBA games. So condolences to Bill Walton and his family and his kids and all that kind of stuff. His son used to coach the Lakers, Luke Walton. But shout out to them.
Well, you can't give condolences to Bill, but condolences to his family.
His family.
Yeah. I will say, just to piggyback on what you said, I'm not a turn the other cheek kind of girl. Maybe that is biblical and we probably should. But I will say it is great to close the door when somebody is inviting you to toxicity. Lead with love. Don't allow somebody to pull you into their bullcrap.
If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't, you should. Peace.